YouTube. What's going on, man? Back at it again with another video. It's your boy, Numbers Fan Jay. Week 5 is almost complete. We've gotten through the Thursday game and the Sunday game. But let's get into the breaking news. Breaking news, Jay Gruden has been fired, the Redskins head coach. The coach that has been promoted to interim head coach, which means that he's going to finish this season out. It's not for certain if he'll be the head coach next year, for those that didn't know what interim means. The interim head coach is now Bill Callahan. He was the assistant head coach and the offensive line coach while Jay Gruden was the head coach. So he's being promoted. So far, after Sunday and after Thursday's game, I'm 10-4 this week. This is my best record since week 2 in terms of getting picks right and wrong. 10 right, 4 wrong this week. Hopefully tonight I get another pick right with the 49ers. They move to 4-0. But we'll see. All right, so starting off with the Thursday night game, Rams at Seahawks. This game showed a lot. I'll just say that this game was probably the worst coached within the last 2 minutes that I've ever seen. It's one of those games where it's just like, what are they thinking on this play? Like, what? On both sides, for both teams, offense and defense. There were several plays where people were running wide open. There were several plays where this play call, I don't think, fits the situation. Why are you passing so much in field goal range? I never understood that. But hey, Gerald Everett almost saved the game for the Rams, but they didn't. They missed the field goal at the end of the game. They ended up losing. This game showed both offenses were as prolific as described. Russell Wilson still playing phenomenal. 4 more touchdowns, no picks yet again. We talked about him in the predictions. We talked about him having 8 touchdowns, no picks. So that moves him up to 12 touchdowns, no picks. Best quarterback so far this year. The Rams defense, we talked about it being pretty bad. They gave up 167 rushing yards and 268 passing yards. So Seahawks got the win. I got that one right. Patriots at Redskins, not anything say here. Big news just being that Jay Gruden was fired. The Patriots trailed for the first time this season, though, just for all of 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So, I mean, I guess that's good if you're a Redskins fan. You did something that the other teams haven't, but you still lost. Bills at Titans. I told y'all if they held them under 13, the Bills would win. The final score was 14-7 Bills. It fitted perfectly. It fit the bill, if you will. Same old Titans, inconsistent. You saw last week they didn't allow any sacks. They allowed 5 sacks this week. The Titans also got 4 sacks defensively. But, the Titans kicker missed 4 kicks. You got to look at that, man. Like that, those count. All of those count. Because if he hits all 4 of those, it's a totally different ball game. Now you're leading, and you have to stop the Bills from going in to score. That's 12 points. They could have had 19 points. So, it is what it is. Mariota touchdown was called back late. He passed the line of scrimmage and threw it, so that's an illegal forward pass. If he would have threw it literally half a second earlier, he would have been fine. They would have had 6 points on the board. But he didn't, so they couldn't count it. Ravens at Steelers. I picked the Steelers. No, I picked the Ravens. Sorry. I did not pick the Steelers. Let me not lie to y'all. I picked the Ravens to win this game. They won this game. Mason Rudolph was the big story in this one. Of course, he got hurt, but before he got hurt, he was 13-20, 1 touchdown. Lamar Jackson still isn't looking good. After the first 2 weeks of the season, it seems as if he can't throw the ball again. Like he's reverted back to last year where he was missing open receivers. He threw 19-28, 161 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions. So he didn't play winning football at all, but the Ravens Got the win, of course, because it's the Steelers. This year's Steelers find a way to lose. Jets at Eagles. I picked the Eagles. The Eagles won. Pretty simple. The Jets offense was as terrible as we talked about, them only scoring 11 points per game. They didn't score a touchdown this game. Quarterback Kevin Falk, 3 turnovers, took 10 sacks. This offense only ran for 67 rush yards, only passed for 120 yards. Bad thing about the Eagles, though, Carson Wentz went 17 for 29 for 189 yards, 1 touchdown. Not impressive at all. We talked about the Jets defense being good, so that played a part in it, but the Packers defense was good too. So you got to figure out, if you're an Eagles fan, what kind of team y'all really have this year. Just, you got the win here, but it wasn't pretty. The London game, Bears at Raiders, I got to go ahead and clap it up. I give props where props is due. Lamonte, you already know, man. I picked the Bears. Got that one wrong. I did not see this happening at all. I thought Khalil Mack would have a field day. Raiders jumped out to a 17-0 lead early in the game in the first half. Bears stormed back, scored 21 in the third quarter. 21-0 in that quarter, actually. The Bears only ran for 42 yards, so that played a big part in how their offense moved the ball. Chase Daniel is not the guy to put the offense on the back of. We know this offense is not known for quarterback play. The fake punt by the Raiders was huge with 5:48 left in the fourth quarter. That really, really changed the game because, like I said, third quarter was all Bears, 21-0. This fake punt turned the momentum. They were about to punt it away. Josh Jacobs was another big story in this game, 123 yards, averaged 4.7 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. So the Raiders won this on the ground. As I said, would be the reason that they would fall. They proved me wrong. So there you go, Monte. There are your props. Vikings at Giants. Dalvin Cook ran for 132 yards. We talked about the run game being big for this team as well, them having to have balance in order to score points. He also had 86 receiving yards. He had 1 fumble, so you have to add that on as well. Kirk Cousins, 22 out of 27, played pretty good. 306 yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. This is what they need. This team is built similar to the Bears in where Kirk Cousins doesn't have to be the guy. He just has to maintain. He just has to control the ball, be a game manager, you know. Giants, we talked about them turning the ball over. They were -1 in turnovers in this game, 3 more giveaways. Couldn't get over it this game. Lost against the Vikings. I picked the Vikings, so that's good. Buccaneers at Saints. I picked the Saints. The Saints have now won 3 straight without Drew Brees. Like, wow. The Buccaneers pass defense, we talked about it being atrocious, being 31st in the league. It showed up again as Teddy Bridgewater had a day. 26 out of 34. 314 yards, 4 touchdowns, just 1 interception. He just ripped through this defense, and rightfully so, as they have had problems with that all year this year. Falcons at Texans. The Texans, I did pick the Texans to win this game. I told y'all how bad of a team the Falcons look this year. They are now 1-4 after this loss. The Texans punted just 1 time. Think about that. You're watching the game, your offense is going downfield over and over and over again, and only punts 1 time. Scores points every time. Like, come on now. Deshaun Watson had a huge day, 29 of 33, 426 yards, 5 touchdowns. Will Fuller had 14 catches, 217 yards, 3 touchdowns. They are 2 out of my 3 co-players of the week. Yes, there's a triple co-player of the week this week. 2 of them are on this team. So, amazing day. 3 touchdowns, Fuller, career high. Amazing day for the Texans. Cardinals at Bengals, the toilet bowl lived up to the hype. Can you believe it? Kyler Murray finally gets his first NFL win. 20 out of 32 passing. 253 passing yards, tallied on 93 rushing yards with 1 rushing touchdown on 4th down. So, Great game for him. Didn't throw a passing touchdown, but he didn't turn the ball over either. So that's good. Cardinals ran for 66 yards, and 2 touchdowns in this game. Nothing more needs to be said. They won this game rightfully so. Jaguars at Panthers. I picked the Jaguars. I was wrong about this one. Gardner Minshew let me down. 3 fumbles. 3 fumbles. One was returned for a touchdown. They lost this game by a touchdown. So, Christian McCaffrey was unreal in this game. 176 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns rushing. Added on 61 receiving yards and a receiving touchdown. He is my 3rd of the 3 on my co-player of the week. These 3 people, Christian McCaffrey, Deshaun Watson, Will Fuller, were absolutely amazing, all deserving of player of the week honors. The 3 fumbles really hurt the Jaguars in this game. I thought they would have it, but can't really predict fumbles. So, Packers at Cowboys. We picked the Packers. We picked the Packers. We were right. Packers came out 17-0 at halftime. The game was pretty much over. Aaron Jones, 107 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns. Cowboys showed a little fight in the second half, but the Packers were just too far ahead. Both defenses did not really show up. Can't even lie to you. It was a good game, but neither defense just locked anybody down. Dak Prescott was the reason that the Cowboys lost this game. 2 touchdowns, but 3 interceptions. Can't have it. Amari Cooper played Amari Cooper played exceptionally well. 226 yards, 1 touchdown. Michael Gallup, 113 yards, 1 touchdown. Zeke had 5 yards per carry, but when your quarterback is throwing 3 interceptions, that doesn't help anything. So now you have to pass to try to get back in the game quickly. Didn't work. Broncos at Chargers. What can I really say? Not surprised that we lost this game because the Broncos have never went 0-5 for 1. 2, the Broncos, I think I'm going to repeat it again. They've never went 0-5. They're a prideful organization. They just outplayed us. Pretty simple. Outcoached us, outplayed us. We missed a few tackles up front that led to a 70-yard touchdown, led to multiple 10-plus yard runs by Philip Lindsay, who had a good day. Denver's run defense, we talked about it being terrible, but they only gave up 35 yards, and that was due in part because of the terrible workload put on Melvin Gordon. He had 12 attempts for some reason, and Austin Eckler had 3. I don't understand. Why? It's his first game back. Why is he getting 12 carries and Austin Eckler is just getting 3? If he's been here getting all the carries. Austin Eckler did have a few receiving yards, however. The red zone turnovers killed us in this game. We were inside the 10, inside the 5 on both turnovers. One was right at halftime. We tried a little shovel pass to Austin Eckler. He couldn't get all the way to the edge and reach it over the goal line. He fumbled. There was the end of the half. Phillip Rivers threw an interception after we got an interception, which really, that made me more upset than the fumble because, come on now, we lost this game by 7 points. We only had to score 1 of those times, and we didn't score either of those times inside the 5. I know we were inside the 5 now. I just remember. Inside the 5 freaking yard line. So you can't do that and win in the NFL. Expect to win. We passed 48 times, which is incredibly dumb because the Denver run defense isn't good. So why the heck are we passing 48 times? Like I was confused the whole game. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But Chargers lost, got that one wrong. Colts at Chiefs. This really made my day because the Broncos loss had me messed up a little bit. I was confused before, during, and after the game. Like, confused, just confusion. I hate being confused. My boy Dante, you already know I hate being confused. Could not explain what the heck happened. Inexplicable. But this game, the Colts and Chiefs game, really lifted my spirits up because I told y'all, I didn't pick the Chiefs. I picked the Chiefs to win this game, but I told y'all that the Chiefs would not be able to outscore everybody all 16 games. It's not gonna happen. The NFL doesn't work that way. Somebody said it. One of the former pros said it on First Take, I believe, today. I forgot who his name was. I cannot think of his name right now. But he said that the greatest show on turf, Rams, were the only team to be able to outscore pretty much everybody on the way to the Super Bowl. Just be the number one scoring offense and not have to really worry about defense. This is not, it's not a good formula. For it to only be one team, we've had how many Super Bowls? Like, come on now. Just being honest. The time of possession was really just, it's the same formula. It's the same formula that's used to beat every good team that has a great offense and a bad defense. You keep the ball away from the other team. Time of possession for Indianapolis was 37 minutes, 15 seconds. Kansas City only possessed the ball for 22 minutes and 45 seconds. That's a 15-minute difference. That's huge. Chiefs defense run defense was poor. We talked about that. It showed up. Marlon Mack had 132 yards rush. 4.6 yards per carry. So 180 yards rushing as a team for the Colts. Patrick Mahomes didn't look good again. 22 out of 39, 321 yards, 1 touchdown. He did get a little banged up. He got a cleat to the ankle. Got hit in the ankle a couple times, but it didn't look too serious. It looked like it's probably just sore, probably just bruised. Don't think it's anything serious. Hopefully not. I want to be able to beat him at full health, no excuses. LaShawn McCoy's fumble proved huge. You know, they lost this game. It was a close game. Fumbles take points off the board. Turnovers take points off the board. So you don't need turnovers in close games. You don't need them at all. But close games especially, they come up huge at the end. They're like, what do we did wrong? What do we do wrong? Turnovers has always been huge. Justin Houston had 1 sack, 2 tackles for a loss. Huge 4th down stop, turned to the Kansas City bench and just flexed on them. Like, what's up? Y'all shouldn't have let me go, all of that. The Chiefs offense only ran for 34 rushing yards. They have to fix this before playoff season. They have to. Because this is everybody's formula to beat them right now. It's that simple. It's not as easy as it looked last night, but they can do that. It only takes one game in the playoffs, so it can happen. Browns at 49ers tonight. Don't forget, man, before we go, flip the M to a dub. You know we got the 3 questions, who, what, and why. Who's going to beat the Patriots? They're 5-0. Their next 4 games versus the Giants, at the Jets, versus the Browns, at the Ravens. I think the Ravens might be able to get them because they always seem to be able to beat the Patriots for whatever reason. But we'll see. What do fantasy owners do with Stephon Diggs? I have Stephon Diggs on my fantasy team. I won't have him after tonight. He's getting dropped. There's no way. I'm sick of it. I'm thinking this guy's a great pick. You know, he was available in the draft at the perfect time. I was like, wow, I can get Stephon Diggs. So I took him. And he's done nothing. He has done nothing at all. So he's getting dropped. Don't worry about it, fantasy owners. You're not going to miss him. You know, I just don't see him exploding the rest of the year. It's just not going to happen. Adam Thielen is their guy. And Dalvin Cook has taken a lot of the targets away. Running backs take targets away from receivers because why pass the ball if you can just run it? It's that simple. Why? Why are the Saints 3-0 without Drew Brees? Well, they just find ways to win. And Drew Brees is on the sideline every game cheering his team on. He's not on the sideline pouting. He's not on the sideline wishing he was in the game. He's on the sideline coaching. He's pretty much coaching. Teddy Bridgewater through it, hyping his teammates up, making sure everybody's still up while he's not playing the game. And that's exactly what you want from your quarterback if he's not in the game. There's no doubt about it. Teddy Bridgewater's not taking Drew Brees' job. That's not a question. Drew Brees is coming right back. Unlike the other quarterback situations we've seen with Alex Smith when Kaepernick came up or with Tony Romo when Prescott came up, the Saints aren't dumb enough to make that decision. Like, they're going to go back to Drew Brees. So, that's all I got for y'all today. Let me know what y'all think, man. Tune in to the game tonight. You know I'm going to be tuned in. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe. Click that notification bell. It's your boy, Jay. We out of here.